as Caleb Williams. Showed a lot of potential, a lot of promise, but bad team, didn't win a lot of games, got a new coach. Can they compete? And for some reason, you don't hear anything about that, but you're hearing everything about Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. And that was Caleb Williams basically telling people, like, hey, like, we were all bad last year. It wasn't just me. We were awful. Like, I wasn't the only problem or even near the top of the list of problems for the Bears last year. And all the previous regimes and all that, I had nothing to do with that. That wasn't me. And for some reason, the coverage of the Bears has been nonstop this offseason. If you think I'm making this up, watch any of your favorite network television shows, watch during the day and see how many times when there's not really a giant story out like Micah Parsons' trade request or something, like watch how many times the discussion is about Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the Bears. You don't see any of that for Drake May or the Patriots. And I would argue that's a way more interesting storyline because that's a former Patriot taking over his former team and an owner who's got everything to prove when it comes to his value and his impact on the organization in comparison to Tom Brady and Bill. But like, I would argue the Patriots are a more compelling storyline than the Bears. They get a fraction of the coverage. So when Caleb Williams is talking about pressure and saying, look, it's not like I was 20-20. He's right. They were not good last year, but he wasn't bad. And so why should he feel any more pressure than anybody else in that building? Last year's failures were on everybody, not just him. At the Jonas Knox on X, that is at the Jonas Knox on X, and you can hang out with us as always on the iHeartRadio app. By the way, you can also check us out on YouTube. There's a ton of great videos from many of our Fox Sports Radio shows. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube. You'll see a whole bunch of video highlights from our shows. Be sure to subscribe so you always have instant access to our Fox Sports Radio videos on YouTube. All right, so coming up next here.
1-1. He might have hit one out of the ballpark there. Out to right and deep. Second deck. He squared the bunt 2 pitches ago. And Kyle Stowers rips number 16 into the seats. Tied at 1, bottom 2.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
Pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Freelick back. Track wall. It is gone. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 1-1 pitch. That one hammered out to left center field and deep. Martian Rojas back. They're looking up, and it's gone. Wag attack. A 2-run homer.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed. I'm not sure how we can top it, but we will try here this afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on a Saturday afternoon. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 109 of 162. The Marlins left every single person attending, watching, listening at home speechless. The Marlins pulled off one of the most mind-blowing, staggering, improbable comebacks this franchise has possibly ever seen. Let's put this into perspective for a second. Jacob Marcy made his major league debut. He was the first Marlin in history to walk 3 times in his debut, and he is not the number one storyline. Kyle Stowers hit his second grand slam of the season. Nope. Find another page. Javier Sanoa hit 2 long balls and did his best Sammy Sosa home run trot impression. All this happened, and it was secondary news. Miami's 27th comeback win of 2025 handed New York's its first road loss when scoring 12 runs since 1940. Jack, how old were you? Steven, how old were you? Well, not even near being born. We are pumped to bring you game 2 of this 3-game interleague set between the 60 and 50 New York Yankees and your now 53 and 55 Miami Marlins. Yuri Perez will kick off the festivities on this Saturday afternoon, making his 10th start of the season. Cam Schlittler, 24-year-old right-hander, will start for the 4th time in his young career for Aaron Boone's Pinstripes. We get going today at 4:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, what is going on, everyone? Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday afternoon. Marlins Nation with Jack McMullen, Craig Minervini, and Griffin Conine will join the broadcast for the entirety of it. I'm Steven Strom. We got an awesome show. I got to be quick here. It's a deep and distinguished guest list. Let's get you lined up for the show. We'll hear the best sounds from last night. We'll relive it together, folks. We have Michael Kay, the longtime television voice of the New York Yankees. He will talk about yesterday's mayhem. Jacob Marcy joined Jack McMullen on his debut. Jack will also join the program for headlines. He's giving out some game balls, Expo question of today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So let's get cooking here. The Marlins trailed 6-0 entering the bottom of the 5th yesterday. They overcame a 6-run deficit. They eventually took a 10-9 lead in the 7th inning. You're thinking this is destiny. No. The Yankees tied it up in the 8th inning and then took a 2-run lead in the 9th. So let's fast forward to the bottom of the 9th where the Marlins trailed the Yanks 12-10 and Xavier Edwards was up to bat with Javier Sanoja and Jacob Marcy on 1st and 2nd.
1-0 pitch. That one a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. They're going to send Sanoja. That got under Caballero's glove. Marcy around third. He comes in to tie the game. And X, the possible winning run, is at third base.
The next AB, Augustin Ramirez was up, tied at 12 with Xavier Edwards at third. And again, just one out.
2-1. Ramirez with a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Catcher Wells picks it up. X comes in and scores from third. In the craziest game of the year, it's a swinging bunt from the former Yankee prospect, Augustin Ramirez, to walk it off. Speed Demon X comes in from third. This game is over, and this team is electric.
One of the best calls I've personally ever heard in my life. The largest comeback victory of the season for the Marlins. It's also the first time the Marlins have overcome a deficit of at least 6 runs to win a game since August 13th of 2013. An 8-7 walk-off win against the New York Yankees. It was also the Marlins' 27th comeback victory of the season. Let's hear what the skipper had to say, Clayton McCullough.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, what a sport. It's hard to think of the back and forth. I don't know if I had. That was definitely the craziest game all season. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and it was, what a game. Again, speaks to the resiliency and that this group all year has shown their ability to just hang in there and play it all the way out. There were times this year we fought back in games like that and came up just short, and you take victories away from force them to use leverage arms in a game they didn't want to. And I think, tonight to claw back in that game, to be down, I think, 6 at one point, then down 5, down 2, and to just continue to press on. Can't speak highly of the character and the compete that our group has, and to come out on top. I mean, that was certainly as fun and special a win as we've had all season.
All right, that was Marlins manager Clayton McCullough following yesterday's walk-off win. It was the 27th comeback of the season. Marlins now 28-14 since June 13th. And because I'm a little cynical, maybe I'm a little sick, I just love to listen to the sound. Let's listen to what New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone had to say after this loss that left you speechless.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a really tough one. To build a big lead, Roto's kind of cruising early on there, and then just had trouble with the strike zone there those last 2 innings, and just got up to a point where it was, I had to go get them. So, kept pulling away, and then they took the lead, and lot of fight to get back to tie it and then take the lead there with 2 outs again in the ninth. And, unfortunately just, had a tough time holding them down, obviously.
The cover of the New York Post today, can we get a refund? With Xavier Edwards celebrating after scoring the winning run in the 9th inning. We will break here. Michael Kay, the television voice of the New York Yankees, will join me next. We'll get a little reacts. Plus, very interesting here, I wanted to get the reasoning behind his broadcast style in big moments. That is next. We're back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
In the 6th inning. There's a shot to right center field and deep. That'll hit the wall on a bounce or two. Going to second is Marcy. That's his first major league hit. Jacob Marcy, a double in the 7th inning.
1-0 pitch. That one a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. They're going to send Sanoja. That got under Caballero's glove. Marcy around third. He comes in to tie the game. And X, the possible winning run, is at third base.
Wildest games of the year for the Miami Marlins. First and third, Edwards is going line drive. That is a base hit. Marlins take the lead. Edwards around second, go to third. Ramirez with an RBI single. 10-9 Miami.
This is absolutely insane, man. 111 off the bat. Augustino Ramirez stings it into left. In one-hop Dominguez. David Bednar hates this place. 2-1. Ramirez with a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Catcher Wells picks it up. X comes in and scores from third. In the craziest game of the year, it's a swinging bunt from the former Yankee prospect, Agustin Ramirez, to walk it off. Speed Demon X comes in from third. This game is over, and this team is electric.
Not valid with any other offers, promotions, or discounts. Not valid on gift card purchases. No adjustments on previous purchases. Offer only valid on qualifying purchases at the participating Cuba Vera stores at Dolphin Mall, Sawgrass Mills, or online at cubavera.com. This offer is valid until September 1st, 2025. Other exclusions may apply.
We're rocking and rolling here on the Marlins Radio Network. Steven Strom, joined by Michael Kay, the voice of the New York Yankees. And yesterday, I just told you, you're speechless. How did you react from yesterday's defeat?
It was unfolding almost in slow motion. I said on the air, it's like you're in a really bad dream and you just can't wake up. So it was odd. And to see the look on Paul O'Neill's face, who's seen so many games, and he couldn't even believe it was happening and the way it was unfolding, it was almost like a script that was written by Stephen King.
It really was. I have a question for you because I was listening back. I'm a broadcast nerd. I like to listen to these games, whenever in the gym. And you've done this multiple times. You called in the middle. You got up for Kyle Stowers' grand slam. Why is that important for you?
I just think you want to be fair to everybody. You want to be fair to the business. But you know what? It almost seems like it makes you more of an outlier because around baseball you see an opposing team hits a home run and the guy just talks it through. And I can never be like that. But to tell you the truth, on social media, Yankee fans don't like it. They don't like it at all. Why are you getting excited? I get excited for the game of baseball. So if somebody threw a no-hitter against the Yankees, I'd get excited. Now, obviously, it's better for our network and if the Yankees win. So, your heart is that way. But I think you got to call it down the middle. But again, a lot of people don't think like that.
I want to deep dive into this real quick. So you were a journalist before you got this job. Who do you credit for your broadcast, traits?
You know what? It's weird. I always say that, there were 4 male voices in my house. My dad, Phil Rizzuto, Frank Messer, and Bill White. So I listened to them, and obviously a little bit of Marv Albert as well. But I think the guy that had the most influence, if you just hear some of the pacing that I do, was probably Sterling. I kind of learned at his knee. So when I got the job in 1992, I'd never been on the air except for in college. So, just hearing the way he did things, he gets knocked as a homer sometimes, and he wanted the Yankees to win. There's no denying that. But if you ever have a chance and you listen to Luis Gonzalez's base hit that ended the 2001 World Series, you'd think that he was a Diamondback broadcaster. So I think I got some of that as well from him. And you bring up the journalistic part. I think that's why I call things down the middle, too, because I still don't like to be over the top rooting, because you never did that as a writer.
Michael K. with us now. It's been a long night, so can we get a pronunciation on the pitcher today before we make some mistakes?
Well, these are difficult mistakes to make. It's Cam Schlittler, and I left out a C and an L. Luckily, we do our open on tape. So, like his second start, I was fine with his first start. Didn't even think about messing it up. And then somebody said, well, you have to be really careful with that name. And then, boom, earworm. And the first time I said it the wrong way. So you really have to concentrate when you say it.
I'm not saying it.
But my best advice, go with Cam.
Okay, with Cam, he's made a handful of starts. I think this is his 4th or 5th career. Walks are up, but you've seen some good glimpses. What's the 4.11 on Cam?
He throws way harder than any of us were told that he throws. He looked okay in spring training, but, he came out, I think his first pitch in the big leagues was 100 miles an hour. He's always living at 98, 99, and will occasionally hit 100. There's no problem whatsoever with his fastball. I think his secondary pitches, those are the ones that have to be refined. Once he gets those in control, he could have a pretty good future, a 3 or a 2 type starter. He got that sort of stuff, and the Yankees were very reluctant to even talk about him in any trades. So that they like him a lot, but this is a tough place to learn. You're learning with the Yankees, you're learning in a pennant race, and every single game now means a lot because you're 3.5 games behind the Blue Jays. So it's really under fire that he's learning.
He will go opposite Yuri Paris. Thank you so much for the time, Michael K. Again,
pleasure.
Appreciate it. We'll break here. Jacob Marcy, what a debut it was for him. Jack McMullen sits down with him next. We're back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
In the 6th inning. There's a shot to right center field and deep. That'll hit the wall on a bounce or two. Going to second is Marcy. That's his first major league hit. Jacob Marcy, a double in the 7th inning.
1-0 pitch. That one a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. They're going to send Sanoja. That got under Caballero's glove. Marcy around third. He comes in to tie the game. And X, the possible winning run, is at third base.
Wildest games of the year for the Miami Marlins. First and third, Edwards is going line drive. That is a base hit. Marlins take the lead. Edwards around second, go to third. Ramirez with an RBI single. 10-9 Miami.
This is absolutely insane, man. 111 off the bat. Augustino Ramirez spins it into left. In one hop, Dominguez. David Bednar hates this place. 2-1. Ramirez with a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Catcher Wells picks it up. X comes in and scores from third. In the craziest game of the year, it's a swinging bunt from the former Yankee prospect, Augustine Ramirez, to walk it off. Speed Demon X comes in from third. This game is over, and this team is electric.
Is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, this is Derek Hill, and you're listening to Marlins On Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, I'm glad Derek Hill brought us back because he's going to begin a rehab assignment. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Miami 53-55, a heart-racing, staggering victory yesterday, beating the New York Yankees 13-12. We shall see what happens this afternoon in this middle game. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Craig Minervini, and our special guest analyst today, Griffin Conine. You'll hear from them hopefully in the next segment. Jacob Marcy made his major league debut yesterday from AAA Jacksonville, was called up, debuted, played in center field. He drew a couple of walks, and he is the first Marlin ever to debut and walk 3 times in his first career game, Jacob Marcy, and of course was part of the madness in yesterday's victory. Jack McMullen caught up with Jacob Marcy this afternoon during the clubhouse. 12 hours later? Let's hear that conversation that starts right now.
Thank you very much, Stephen. You're with Jacob Marcy. You had a night to sleep on it. I'm not sure if you slept much last night, but you had family and friends here. What was the debut like, man?
It was amazing. Special. One that you'll remember just from a debut perspective into just the memorable game we had, too. It was amazing. So it was also super cool to come out with the win on it.
Has your mom come down from the high yet? She was bouncing around like crazy. That was awesome to watch.
Yeah. I think they're all still really excited. I mean, we get to do it again today. So, I mean, I think they're really excited to come out here again. And everyone's settled down a little bit, but everyone's excited.
How long are they going to be here?
My parents will be here the whole homestand.
That's awesome, man. Hey, so your deal is you like walking, huh? What's the deal with that?
Yeah. I just want to get a good pitch to hit, and walks come with that, just making it hard on the pitcher. And I mean, when I get a pitch to hit, I'm going to try to do damage with it, but I want to get strikes.
First guy to walk 3 times in the history of this franchise in his major league debut. The double was awesome. Saw you hit a ball 460 feet in Jacksonville last week. Where does that power come from?
I mean, I'm not trying to hit the ball that far hard. Honestly, I just think swinging at the right pitches and being on time, and then just keeping my direction through the middle of the field, I think just helps me be able to react to some of these pitches, and it comes. But it just has to go over the fence. I don't care how far it goes.
Love that. You know what? If it goes 460, it goes 460. We're talking with Jacob Marcy here, new Marlins outfielder. And, man, it's been a fascinating journey for you from Central Michigan to the Bigs. And, obviously, you look around, you see Zach McKinstry from Central Michigan to the All-Star game. But a place like that doesn't give us big leaguers often at all. What's the journey been like for you, and just how fulfilling is this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's had its ups and downs and failures a lot. And, I mean, the coaching staff I had when I was at Central was amazing, and they did a lot to just develop me into the player I am today. And then throughout the minors, too, just the help I've gotten and dealing with failures, being able to handle that stuff. So it's super exciting to be here now, and I'm really excited to just keep playing.
We see what we see on the stat sheet, right? It's a lot of walks, a lot of stolen bases. You can hit the ball for power. I am curious, what kind of competitor are the Miami Marlins getting in Jacob Marcy?
Yeah, I just want to win. That's it. I mean, I know you're going to give my best every single night, and I'll run through walls. I'll do whatever it takes. Like, I'm a ball of energy when it comes out to playing this game. I just want to win.
It's awesome. Jacob Marcy, last one for you. As a fellow former Tin Cap, favorite thing to do in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Go to the field. I don't know.
It's like the only thing to do. Jacob Marcy, thank you very much, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Steven.
All right. Thank you very much, Jack McMullen and Jacob Marcy. Yesterday, 1 for 2, scored 2 of Miami's runs after the 7th inning, of their 9 runs after that 7th inning, and again became the first Marlin to draw 3 walks in his major league debut and the first to reach base safely 4 times in his first career game. He is back in the lineup. He will bat 6th and play center field. We'll break. We will see. I know I have Jack McMullen on for segment 4, but we could have our guest analyst for today, Griffin Conine. He joins the broadcast on this Saturday afternoon. We're back in 2 minutes as Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
The plate. He was ready to do some damage. 1-2. Johnston swings. He rips one through the right side. That's the first major league knock. Welcome to the big leagues, Troy Johnston. 636 games in the minor leagues. And on the 5th pitch he sees in the major leagues, he has his first hits. That baseball makes its way over to the third base dugout, and that is going somewhere special for him. Month-old daughter Tatum are in attendance. 0-1. That one hit high in the air, out to right and deep. Walker is back at the track, and it's gone. The first home run as a Marlin for Graham Pauley. It comes in his 39th game. Graham Pauley, 103 off the bat, 384 feet into the Cardinal bullpen in right. And the Marlins open scoring in the second. It's 2-0 Fish. 2-1. That one hit in the air, out to right center field and deep. Sanoja and Sanchez converging. That one is caught. Sanoja went straight back, and then he took a sharp turn left, and he made the grab sliding. Javier Sanoja with a really nice play in center. That one looped into right center field. That is in for a base hit. That'll score Stowers from second base. Otto Lopez with a one-hopper to the right fielder, Jordan Walker. Stowers comes in to score, and it's 3-0 Marlins in the top of the fifth. It was cool, yeah. 1-2. That one sprayed down the line. Tough play for Walker. He's working back. On the track, it's over his head, and it short hops off the wall.
Con restricciones. Equipo, impuestos y tarifas son adicionales. Después de la promo aplican tarifas regulares. Ahorros comparados a Verizon 5G Internet más una línea Unlimited Welcome y AT&T Internet 300 más una línea Unlimited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
2-1. Ramirez with a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Catcher Wells picks it up. X comes in and scores from third. In the craziest game of the year, it's a swinging bunt from the former Yankee prospect, Augustine Ramirez, to walk it off. Speed Demon X comes in from third. This game is over, and this team is electric.
And that call was electric. That was Jack McMullen last night in a Marlins winner, 13-12, the largest comeback victory of the season. It was the Marlins' 27th comeback of 2025. Miami is now 28-14 since June 13th. Jack McMullen joins me now, and it's funny. I was just looking up at the big screen, Jack, and seeing your call on the GoPro, and then we just heard it. Got a little flustered there, but here we are, Game 2. I don't know really where to start here. I kind of thought let's give out some game balls from last night.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you give out 3. Okay, we can both give out 3. And we'll work together here. First game ball goes to
Javier Sanoja.
Okay, I agree with that. We'll give 1 game ball to Javier Sanoja. Do we need to make the case? Guy had 1 home run coming into the season and decided to launch 2 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had 91 Major League Baseball games under his belt. Looks like we have a special guest behind us, by
Do we
the way.
really?
So we'll see if he wants to make his way in.
He's on camera, but he can come back down here. Come on, Griff.
Yeah, Griff, come on in. Join the program here. We're already on. We're on live radio. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this headset on, and you're going to just chill out here. Headset goes on.
I'll cover Jack here. So Griffin Conan, we had talked about it in the open. He is joining us for not 1 inning, not 2 innings, but the entire broadcast here for Game 2 of this 3-game set. He's with us now. Griff, can you hear us? Can you confirm? Is he muted?
I don't think he's muted.
Yes, he's on.
I'm good. Loud
He's
and clear.
good.
I got you.
Little mic check, 1 2 1 2. We're giving out game balls right now, so that's what we're doing.
Oh,
First game ball went out to Javier Sanoja, right? Multi-homer day yesterday. This guy played 91 Major League Baseball games. He had 1 homer. In 7 innings, he had 2 homers yesterday. That's like inarguable.
Yeah. In the post-game team meeting, he was also the player of the game.
Fired up.
Yeah.
There
was
go.
a lot of options there, but yeah, he took it home.
Do they still give out like local ice cream gift cards to for like the player of the game like they did in Little League or no?
I don't think so. We give out the chain. We have like a big plastic Marlins chain. That's like the award.
Nice.
Second ball. Got to go with Jacob Marcy. Guy's debut, he
Yeah.
walks 3 times. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? First ever Marlin to draw 3 free passes in his debut. Second one for me going to Jacob Marcy. All in agreement here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What's our final one?
I mean, Stowers hit a grand slam. I feel like you just got it.
That's like the 7th story. The guy hit his 2nd grand slam of the year.
It's a perpetual game ball to me. Grand slam. Like Kyle Stowers, it feels like has earned just the season game ball at this point.
Yeah. I would say either him, Augustine.
Yeah.
Could make a case for it. Just he put us up 10-9, and then the walk-off, just the walk-off
The dribbler.
Can
which,
I
was nuts.
Can I throw a bit of a stray right now?
Go ahead.
Can I give the 3rd game ball to the Yankee bullpen? Can I give it to the Can I give it
I'd
to the trade
argue
deadline?
Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's who gets it.
That's a good answer.
Griff, here, take this real quick. We might give our 4th one, our
Oh,
non-game
I
ball.
saw this last
And
night.
Griff won't be able to talk on this because
he's right. You're right. Good, good
he would
cover
be in
up
some
there.
hot water.
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, I will. And I'm just
Dude.
going to show our StreamYard crowd what we're talking about here. Chris Siegel
Had a day.
he had a day. And again,
Bro.
the home plate umpire yesterday, I am not one to get on umpires very quickly. And like this broadcast as a whole is not one to get on umpires very quickly. But there were plenty of bats taken out of players' hands on both sides. I will say that. And Craig made the point yesterday. At least he's consistent, but that guy might be the honorable mention game ball.
Where is he today, Jack?
Third base.
Third base. Okay. So, and who's behind the plate?
We've got
AP?
Alex McKay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alan Porter's at
AM?
first. He's got the plate
Porter,
tomorrow.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, I'm excited to have you here, Griff. Excited to hear how you 3 collaborate. Craig Minervini will join us in a couple of minutes. He's doing the car wash. He's doing TV as well. He's doing his thing.
He's the jack of all trades.
He is the jack of all trades. So we'll break here. We'll get our Expo question today. And I might keep Griff for segment 5. Steve's guarantee. We'll think of a nice little alliteration for Griffin Conine for his guarantee, or McMullen's man of the hour, whatever it may be. That's all coming up next. 4:10 first pitch. Marlins looking to win this series on the Marlins Radio Network.
Upgrade your family.
The last 3-4 months, it's Stowers is in scoring position right now. 2-2. That one cracked out to left center field. Collins on the move. Back to the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Scoring position right now. Kyle Stowers, homer number 23. And he silences this capacity crowd in Milwaukee. 1-0 Fish in the top of the third. Bases loaded, 1 away, 3-1. Otto lines one into right center field. That is in for a base hit. It's going to plate at least 2. Stowers pulling into third. Blake Lally holds him up. Now he sends him. Stowers getting the run around. That ball was bobbled in right center field. Otto pushes to third, and Stowers comes in to score from first base. A defensive miscue by a sure-handed Brewer team, and it's a 3-run double or triple from Otto Lopez to open this game up. Misfires galore from Nick Mears, and now it's 4-1 Fish in the top of the 7th.
Kind of more validation of the way we've been playing, I think. Crazy atmosphere here. Kind of felt like a playoff game. I think we were able to, have some really good at-bats. I think it was in that 6th inning, 6th or 7th inning. That really was the difference in the game, and kind of took the crowd out of it late. They're a really good team. Expect them to come back, ready to go tomorrow. So we got to, enjoy this one for a little bit and then flush it and get on to the next one.
Home run number 23 for you. I asked Clayton McCullough earlier today, teams are starting to pitch you more cautiously. You're going to have to take your walks. How do you find that balance of not trying to press but also still trying to be effective?
Yeah, learning how to do it, trying to just be stubborn to my approach, take good at-bats, try to see the ball well, and, kind of just let whatever happens go from there.
What do you think of the at-bat quality, especially where
in all 50 states? NMLC ID number 174475. All right, here we go. About 11 minutes away from first pitch. Yuri Perez will toe the rubber for Clayton McCullough's Marlins. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Griffin Conine, and Craig Minervini. All 3 of those guys have your call. Marlins are going to win this series after a game that left you speechless yesterday. Absolutely speechless. A 13-12 victory over the New York Yankees in dramatic fashion. The last time the New York Yankees lost a game on the road when they scored 12 runs, 1940. Marlins 28-14 since June 13th. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. What number comeback victory was it for Miami here in 2025? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It's time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
I fear it's going to be a rough day for the Yanks offense. Yuri Perez, 10 punch-outs today. Here's why. The Yanks strike out the 6th most in baseball. Yuri's on fire. He's 3-1 with a 1.29 ERA in 5 July starts. We turn the page to August. But the big thing for Yuri, that 4-seam fastball. Opponents are hitting 5 for 60 with 21 Ks against Yuri's 4-seamer. I like Yuri to punch out 10 Yankee tickets here tonight. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Craig Minervini, he's ready to rock. Griffin Conine, he's ready to make his broadcast debut. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball is next on the Marlins Radio Network.
With Robinhood, not only can